Hi my lovelies. Today I'm excited. I feel like it's a new me. It's 2025. It's the month of Rajab. I woke up today feeling like I need a rebrand. So let's do it. I have to wait for the flight to go past. I felt like my iman was low and I just need to write down my thoughts, reflect, have some deep thoughts, and call my friend to discuss. But I also just saw this TikTok of this girl. I'm absolutely mind blown, right? I just opened the app, I see a TikTok of this girl. I'm gonna put her out here, and she basically said there's an acceptance rate to getting into Earth, and it's 0.000000025, something like that. But basically saying it's like impossible that we're already here. And she compared it to like the hardest university to get into, which is Stanford University, which is like 3 to 4%. And imagine you're in Stanford for the like first day, second day, even like the whole time you're there, you just know that because it's so prestigious and it's so hard to get into, like, one, you're happy, and two, it's like you're gonna make the most of your time there because you know how hard it is to be here. Same with us, right? And I was like, you know, these concepts, I love these concepts, and then just relating them back to Islam, because I know this is already in Islam and it's so much deeper, but like my head was kind of like fuzzy. But basically I loved how she broke it down. So she basically talked about, oh, some people will be like, oh, there's like if you're into Stanford, you have to earn it, right? Whereas like getting into life, like being born, is like free, you didn't really earn it. But she basically said that like so many factors come into play with getting into Stanford, such as where you live, the opportunities you have, the people around you, like the location that you're born in, you know. And with Earth, like so many different factors determining our lives, like where we are, where we live, our financial situation, like the people we're born into, and also the chances of us being born, going back to that, is like the chances of your parents, your grandparents meeting, the chances of that specific sperm and egg, like is crazy. So like back to Islam, I actually also asked ChatGPT because my brain was just in a fuzz. I was like, ChatGPT, what do you think of this? You know, how do I bring it back to Islam? So I feel like I've finally come to a conclusion. This is a bit of input from my own thoughts, ChatGPT, and speaking to my friend. So I do think my deepest thoughts come from like finding concepts and then breaking them apart with my friend. And so what we came to the conclusion, let me just read off the notes that we just made. Okay, using the concept of getting into Stanford, we basically said us living, we're here, and then Stanford is like Jannah. Like, it's not Jannah, but obviously like we're making like a comparison. So we're like, if Stanford is hypothetically Jannah, and let's say everyone on earth wanted to go to Stanford, you know. Okay, I'm editing right now, but I just had a thought. So I did say that, let's say everyone wanted to go to Stanford, but that also shows like the reality of life. Not everyone wants to go to Jannah. Not everyone knows about Stanford. Not everyone, not everyone's priority is to go to Stanford. Maybe their priority is to apply to Stanford later in life. We were like, the chances of us already being on Earth and having the opportunity to go to Jannah is so slim. And we know that we only live for a short time. So whatever we do with that time determines whether or not we go to Jannah. Just like whatever an applicant does with their time determines whether or not they get into Stanford. Then we were like, there's so many obstacles that come in your way of like getting into Stanford, such as like finances, smartness, you know, like so many different things. So the people who succeed into getting into Stanford are the people that use whatever life throws at them as a way to get into Stanford. So back to real life, whatever life throws at you, using that as your way, your ticket to Jannah. It's like everyone's gonna have different things thrown at them. It's not gonna be the same. It's not gonna be the same heaviness, weight. It's not going to be the same object, but it's the people that use whatever is given to them, their circumstances, to get to Jannah. Those are the ones that succeed. The next point we said was that no one is born into Stanford. You don't get Stanford for free, you know. Oh my god, now I'm thinking, it's like, okay, nepotism, you can get into Stanford through nepotism, the easy way out. And you could also say that like being born Muslim might be a cheat ticket, but maybe because you didn't take the actions, even though it was easy for you, you still didn't get in. Like, let's say all you had to do was like apply and you didn't apply. That links to the third part, which is like, if you don't apply, you don't get into Stanford. And I kind of linked it back to the Shahada, which is like, you could be doing everything that Islam tells you, but if you don't say the Shahada, that's your ticket to Jannah gone, right? And it's just like, what we gathered from that was also intention. Like, Shahada signifies intention. It's like you are laying out your intentions. It's kind of, there's just so much going on in my brain, but we're just like, if you don't apply to Stanford, you don't get in. Simples. Okay, then I was thinking, think about like your personal statement. You know how you have to make a really good personal statement to get into like a really good university or whatever, or any university. So a lot of the time, coming from an ethnic person, like, you use whatever like you faced in life, your struggles, your identity, and you use that and say why you would be a good student, why you'd be a good candidate. And I think with the help of ChatGPT, it was like, the opportunities and struggles that you faced in life, why are you worthy to go into Jannah because of that? Like, use what has benefited you, what has made you struggle. Use everything you've learned from your experience living this life to get into Jannah. And like, I keep saying this, but like, what does that actually mean? So let me say, for example, me, I think I've said this on my TikTok, but I was really sad when I didn't get into like one of the big universities that I wanted to, and that was like the first time that I was like, I really want something and I didn't get it, you know. And like, I put my whole heart into it, A levels, tests, you know, and that was just like for me. And once I didn't get that, my mindset was like, when I opened the UCAS email, I was gonna say Alhamdulillah and sujood al-shukr regardless whether I got in or not. That was a decision I made before I got rejected. Yeah, so that was a decision I made. So I remember opening up the letter, the email, and then my heart sank and I felt sick and I felt sad, but I promised myself that I would make sujood shukr and say Alhamdulillah, because like, Allah's only gonna give me better, you know. And I trust, like, that's part of like, that was really like beginning stages of me testing my conviction, like tawakkul on Allah. And alhamdulillah, looking back out, he did his thing. Like, alhamdulillah, like, I literally, even if I was to go back, I would be grateful that I got rejected at that time to that university, you know. Just for how my life planned out, the people I met, and like the people I'm to meet and stuff like that. But like, there's just so many ideas floating in my head. I don't know if this is getting to you guys, but I feel like I'm just talking to myself, and this is me trying to get myself out of deen rot, and this is me allowing myself to understand it a lot better, because like, you can't love something you don't know, you know. So yes, if I do mention anything that is wrong about Islam, please forgive me and then correct me, because it needs to be corrected. But this is just like, I'm not a sheikha or anything, but this is like Islamic concepts that I know, like, we're reminded of a lot of the time, but it's really hard to see like how that fits into everyday life. So I'm just trying to like let it marinate. And like, recently I've been feeling like a bit, you know, when you feel distant from Islam, you feel like shy, you feel like embarrassed in front of like Allah, like you just feel like so shy. And I'm like, if I'm feeling this, I have no idea like to what extent someone else would be, you know, is new to Islam and they're just like shy. And it's just like, that shyness is a blessing, and that's Allah trying to get you to come closer to him. So to whoever is feeling that way, think of it in a positive way. That's Allah calling you back. Yeah, also what I've recently been thinking about is my friend from Canada that I haven't seen since like we lived in Saudi together for like 3 years. Oh, I miss her so much. So she came yesterday and I missed having like deep conversations. So yesterday we spoke about like forgiveness and like the relationship between us and people, and I was just like the concept of people wronging you. So when someone wrongs you, one, we forgive, but like, you don't forgive for that person. That goes back to character. Why are you a good person? Why are you nice to people? You know, when you put that in the hands of, oh, I'm nice to this person, because I'm feeling nice, or I know being known as a nice person. What about the day that you're not known as a nice person? What if something happens and like word gets round, or you didn't even like do anything, but someone brands you as a not nice person? Are you then not going to be nice because someone said that? With what I've learned from Islam is that if you put your like akhlaq and the reason why you do things, your intention, if you put that in Allah and you're like, I'm going to be nice to this person for the sake of Allah, because Allah told us to be nice people, then, hear me out, then one, you're getting the reward for doing it for the sake of Allah, and two, Allah said that we have to be nice people, and that's absolute, right? That will never change. That is such a foundation that like even when you are branded as not a nice person, you're still going to be nice because Allah told you to be nice, and you know your reward isn't with them, it's with Him. It goes back to the positivity of Islam. I will always wish the best for you. I will always hope that you're happy, because one, I don't want to feel any negativity. I don't want to feel any hatred or jealousy and anything, any bad feelings towards someone, because that affects me and I don't want to be sad. So why would I be sad, you know? And I'm going to channel all of that into my ibadah. You know, it's going to be a form of worship. When you like something that someone has, you make dua for them and you make dua for yourself. And when you make dua for them, the angels are making dua for you. Like, I've conditioned myself to say, like, if I really like someone, if I really like something about someone, I'll be like, oh, may Allah increase her and increase me as well. Like, it's just like, I don't even think about it anymore. I just say it because it's like, by Allah increasing you, that doesn't take anything away from me. Like, I'm making dua for you, and it also like just gets rid of any negative feelings that might have been there. And the thing is also, guys, we are not like as in control of our emotions as we think. Like, you could think that you could think that you have pure intentions, but you don't sometimes, or like there might be that hint of intentions changing as well. So we need to be so strong in the fact that we're renewing our intentions all the time. And this goes back to me telling my friend this morning. I was like, you know, I feel like I'm on autopilot. I'm just doing stuff, but because there's no meaning behind it, there's no intention behind what I'm doing. Like, I get up, go to work, go see my friends, this, but like, I get up, I could get up, go to work and make that intention for the sake of Allah, meet my friends, make that intention for the sake of Allah, you know, do everything in a meaningful way. And I feel like that would make me feel so much more fulfilled and better. Okay, last thing, guys, is one thing I've been doing recently that I'm putting my friends on, is being so excited for what Allah has in store for you. Guys, we're always taught to have good thoughts of Allah, and may Allah purify my intentions right now, because I don't want to be seen off. I don't want to like give off a more pious look to me than I am. But when there's like something that you really want and you don't get it, Allah literally says that He will only replace you with better. Like, if He takes something away from you, He will only replace you with better. So instead of even being sad in that moment, it's easier said than done. And instead of being sad in that moment, be so excited for what Allah has in store for you. Okay, I'm gonna give you an example. So yes, I will use my life as an example. So there's this like graduate job that I really wanted after I graduated, and it was just amazing. And so I prepared everything, like test wise, like knowledge wise, application wise. Like, I did my part, I tied my camel, and then I left it to Allah. I made dua for it, and it was just something I really wanted to get. I got to like I guess the second or third stage, which kind of got my hopes up, because like, you know, when you apply to jobs and they're like, unfortunately, like you get used to it, but like this was something I really wanted. And then the fact that you already got past like the second stage, you're like, okay, I don't want to get my hopes too high, but you know, so I was already on like the middle stage, and I was like, okay, this can be happening. And then like one day I get an email and it's like, unfortunately, you didn't get this. And as any human, my heart sank and I was sad. And then I was like, stop, Fatima, you're so excited for what Allah has in store for you, because one, the fact that like you didn't get rejected outright just shows that like I'm capable of getting to the next round. I'm capable of something like this. But the fact that I didn't get it in the end means that wasn't part of Allah's plan. Maybe it was part of your plan, but it wasn't part of Allah's plan. And Allah's plan is one greater, and He will only give you something better than what you expected. So if that thing was the best thing that I expected to have, He's only going to give me something better. And guys, we need to readjust what our image of better is. That doesn't mean it's a more prestigious company, it has to be higher pay. Like, better could just mean that I get something else which maybe in worldly gain it might not be as better, but it might lead to some opportunities that I get that somewhere down in the line is boom, or like I get something in the akhirah. But like, either way, as a Muslim, we should never feel wasted or that we've lost something, because we've never really lost anything. If I don't get it in this world, I'm gonna get it in the next. Do you get it? And sorry, there's a plane. Also, it's getting dark, but the promises Allah has made for us, and the way that this day of judgment is described, is like in the next life you're gonna wanna wish that you save things for the akhirah. You get it? For me, it's comforting knowing that whatever I wanted, I will get regardless of like how we see it, and like whether it's in this life or the next. But I also know that I haven't lost anything, and that is also like tawakkul, like complete faith in that Allah's gonna give you better. So I'm so excited for the next thing that comes for me, because obviously what I thought the best wasn't, but like the next thing is gonna be better. So why be sad? Do not be sad. Inna Allah ma'ana. So yeah, girlies, that is just my thoughts. It's getting a bit dark, so I'm gonna wrap this up. But make dua for me, and I'll make dua for all of you guys. May we become people who are loved by Allah, people who understand the religion, and people who like influence others through our actions, not just our words. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna go and journal. Oh my god, one last thing. My journal, okay, I don't write in my journal. I do an online one because I feel like I want to have the liberty to write whenever I want to. So I have an online journal, and then sometimes I start the journal by Dear Allah. So it's like me speaking to Allah in a journal, but it's so cute. I do it on Penzu, the app. So if you guys want to do that. But yeah, but thank you so much for sticking out through this video, to being better people. Ramadan's coming up, a better 2025, and yeah, jazakallah khair for listening. Please comment down below anything you guys want to see, any add-ons that you guys have. Really appreciate it. And assalamu alaikum, assalama, bye.